Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon, Dolo the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna talk about there's another word for Lights of Illusions, for the Lights of Illusion series. And this is a word, a very popular word. They give this word to God all the time. This is one of the natural words for God. Even before it was God, this was the natural word for it. So Cre-A-Tor. Cre-A-Tor. Now we gotta dissect words. Cre-A-Tor. Now, a creator, right, has creations, right? Utilizing his creativity. So what's a Cre-A-Tor, right? So we have to break this down based upon the synonyms and shit, because these are the natural vibrations. So we have to start off with Cree, because we can start off with just the letters, but the letters make more confusion. Like you could say Cree, C-R-E, C-R energy in some type of way. You see what I'm saying? But with the R in there, that already makes it a group. And they think they're doing something righteous or revolutionary. So that could be right or left field. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand things. But let's break it down. Cree. Now, Cree, the meaning of Cree is a Pacific, like a germ or a bacteria, or it's a Pacific germ, archaea or some shit like that. So it's basically where the word archon came from, but it's a archaea, it's something else, and it's a bacteria or germ that's high on resistance. Now remember my videos I was talking about, the more you know how to resist, the more you know how to create balance. You see what I'm saying? So this germ is high resistance to its surroundings. So if there's like a medication or something like that try to kill this germ is highly resistant to it. So that means this germ could live in all elements on earth because it's highly resistant to it. So that means that whatever it's in won't destroy it. So that's what a Cree is. And then you got to understand too, you got the Cree in Marvel comics. You got, you know what I'm saying, to decree something, cremate, you know what I'm saying, to cremate a person. There's cream. I got a video talking about how God or the spirit of sperm way back, and when I said why is everything in the form of a cream, you know what I'm saying? Now there's probably other people on earth that brings this science. Matter of fact, it's a person that I just came across. What's his name? I subscribe to everybody. Everybody I come across that got some kind of knowledge reminded me of what I already know, I subscribe to. I just recently subscribed to a dude named Solace. And he be breaking down how the motherfucking how the fucking spirit is sperm also. You know what I'm saying? But he got his own way of kicking it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all the same shit at the same time. Like cream, you know what I'm saying? Being cremated. You know what I'm saying? All this is what my channel is about. Bringing everything to one. You know what I'm saying? So we can understand what things are. So that's what a Cree is. You can even look at Marvel Comics and see how the Cree invaded Earth in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So Cree invaded something at some point in time. And it's a germ. Now, A. Cre-A. Now, A represents pointing to a reference for the first time. You know what I'm saying? A means accounting for something for the first time. Like, oh, that's a person. That's a dog. So when someone asks you what is something, the way you refer to it for the first time properly is using the word a. So this is why this is one of the first languages. This is it's the first it's not a consonant, is it? It's a vowel. Like A-E-I-O-U. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So referring to anything for the first time, right? And Tor, T-O-R. Tor means, now you can say something's been tore up, tore down. You know what I'm saying? Someone took a tour. But the actual meaning of Tor is a high rock or being on a high place. So just from high places. You know what I'm saying? Or so when a person go on tour, they visit a lot of places. When something get tore down, it got tore down from a high places. When something look tore up, right? It's up, but it's they put it in a negative annotation. So Tor is just something on a high rock. Something that's on a motherfucking on top of something. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's on, where's my trees? You know what I'm saying? Something on top of a mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So a Cre-A-Tor. A Cre-A-Tor is a Cree, a family of germs that's referring to something for the first time from a high degree. So, or from a mountaintop or something like that. So that's what they're calling God. You see what I'm saying? That's what you calling yourself. Now, a lot of people get the misconception that, okay, to find God, we need to understand what's the first thought, or what was the first idea. You know what I'm saying? Or what was the first creation? You see what I'm saying? It's like, but that's already the wrong question, because you already know thoughts and all that shit came second. This is shit you receiving. Thoughts ain't even yours. You know what I'm saying? You receive them when you utilize your brain. So thoughts came second. So to sit here and think what was the first thought, you're still talking about what was the first thing that came second. And we know that because for you to even have a thought of something, right, you have to have an intent, an intention, an instinct. For an example, if you was a cave person and you ain't know nothing in the world, right? So you're not thinking, you're just acting off instinct, right? So off the back, that cancel out first thought. You're acting off instinct, intuition, intent, intentions. So thoughts can develop an intent, but instinct is the beginning of intent. So it's how you even describe intent. So because it's in something. So when you have an intent, right? An intention is what motivate the thought process. So say you don't know nothing, and then you come across your first rock. That's going to be the first thought. Now, did you have that thought inside you, or did you receive that thought from the frequency vibration of that rock? And 9 times out of 10, you received it from that rock, because the rock was giving off an energy of saying, figure me out. What is my information? What is me? Because everything comes from a mechanism of trying to understand itself, because that's the God you're in. The God don't know how to get out of itself. So the rock is passing information to you so you can figure it out, because you are the rock, just in a higher life form. You developed more. Just like the tree is the earth, just developed more. So whatever the essence was, took its information back to the source, got spit back out to be more than what it was, but it's still the same thing. Then it does that again, and then that's how you could get tree branches. Then it does that again, it's how you get tree leaves. Then it does that again, and it's the fruit from it. You know what I'm saying? And it's developing, it's creating its own body. So when you talk about as far as intent is what caused thoughts. So when you look at the rock for the first time, to find it out, to find your way out of it, you have to go in it. And to go in it, you have to figure out the information of it. So this is a form that's in something, and it's a nation of it. So it's a nation of forms that's in something. So it's in form. So whatever, this rock is in a form, and it's in a form of nations. So it's a collective of a group of beings coming together to form something that what is in. And to understand it, to get the information out of it, you have to go in it to find your way out of it. You have to find out about it. So that's what it is. So the thoughts came second. So the real question shouldn't be what's the first thought. The real question should be what was the first intent. Now you have to understand what is intent. So let's go back to Cre-A-Tor. A Cre-A-Tor, a Cree, is a family of germs that's highly resistant, right? They're highly resistant to a point of reference to something for the first time, right? Then Tor, from a high place, right? So, what's a Cre-A-Tor basically is, I'm gonna roll up later. So when you're looking at a Cre-A-Tor, right? A Cre-A-Tor is nothing but your intent. Your intent is what creates. So when we ask the question, what's the first intent? What do intent consist of? Now, people might trip out, but your intent is germs. When you have it, this is why you can't see the chakras if you cut out a person's body, but a person has chakras. And what is chakras? Light orbs. So it must be a group of germs coming together to create that spark, that create a light. So when you have an intent, that intent is vibrating on a certain level. You may have a low intent, a high, a mid intent, a high, whatever chakra is, whatever area, space. Because space is empty until it starts developing germs, and germs start developing the vibration frequency. Hear me out. Now, when you have an intent, say I have a emotional intent. So that's dealing with the heart chakra, right? So the Cree germs, right, eat that type of source. Now, I can't describe this source yet, but they eat that type of source. For some reason, that intent, that emotion and feeling, that intent is what these group of beings eat. You know what I'm saying? That's the soul life they eat. So this Cree, boom, all circle that space. So now they fill that space. But to you, it just still look like space. They fill that space, right? And then they're highly resistant to that space because they're eating it. So that space that they're eating, they're highly resistant to it. So they're killing it. It's like so it's almost like it's foreign to them, but really it's foreign to you. So that emotion and feeling, that energy right there is foreign to them, but it becomes foreign to you the moment they attack it. Now, once they do that, right, that's the joining of two things to create something else. That creates a light. So they gave their attention to something for the first time, right? And the whole Cree developed it. Now it became a light. Now, that is a creation. It's a nation of Cres, referring to something for the first time. So what's being emitted from that is all the developments out of that. So the circumstances and the situations you create from feeling that way is basically germs coming together to create a body for that situation. And a lot of times the situation is a body of germs. Any situation you in is a body of germs. It's a nation of germs getting ready to take form. And the more energy you put in it, the more a germ can become a proton, an atom. An atom, a proton becomes something else. Then they become organisms. Then organisms become organs. Then organs become full beings. Then beings become, you see what I'm saying? So the real question now ain't what's the first thought or ain't what's the first intent. The question now is, what was the first germ? Because it takes a group of germs to develop an intent. And it takes a group of intentions to create a thought. So this is where you have to understand, what was the first germ? That's the real question. What was the first germ? Because a cree is a group of germs, and we didn't accumulate a whole cree to be one being. But as humans, we like to separate, we like to decipher. So at some point in time, that wave gonna become a particle once again. So that wave of crees, which a cree, we gonna single it out and try to figure out what is one bacteria. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.